Good morning. I want to have a little chat with you about this drone ban. It was referred to as the DJI drone ban for quite some time. It's something that's been talked about in and amongst the drone community for quite some time now. If you're not a drone owner, if you don't know drone owners, if you never heard about the ban, well, essentially it comes down to this. These companies were being put on what they call a covered list. And what that essentially meant is that they would not be able to get any new products authorized through the FCC from here on out, from there on out, right? And that basically means any product that they sell that emits any type of a signal, radio signal, they cannot get approved to sell that product in the United States. It's kind of it's a real petty way to go about what they're doing. It's a real petty way. But we're actually gonna get to talking about what they are actually doing, because so far I haven't seen anybody actually get it right as to why this is happening and what is really going on. Because I would agree, it does indeed look like it's largely predatory business practices. I would agree. But it goes further than that. And if you want any proof of that, I urge you to take a look at New Zealand. And their recent activities when it comes to drone laws. So, pardon me. Anyway, so essentially the original legislation, if you will, was going to cover, like I said, a couple of drone companies. And what DJI did, and I've got a couple of them. I've got one on my lap here. Not gonna put it all together, but this is the Mavic Air 2 for those that aren't that familiar. I don't have anything super. This is my nicest one right here. Mavic Air 2. I've got the original DJI Mavic Mini, and now I've got a Potenzic D58. Yeah, D58. So it was my first one, and it wasn't even close to what I was needing, what I was looking for. I needed something that you could actually get some distance with and still have video feed and all that. And I mean, I would have been happy if I could have made it 3 blocks, 4 blocks, and still had a video feed. But that Potenzic, that thing can't even get 100 feet away, and you lose your video feed. So anyway, that is not the case. These things are incredible. But anyway, so far as I know, as long as you have your drone in your hands now, you are good with that drone. So this drone's fine, my Mini's fine, my D58's fine. As far as I know, you can buy drones that have already been approved. So, in other words, if you wanted to buy a Mavic Air 2, which there's been many models since, I don't know why you'd want to, but if you did, if you could find somebody that had one in stock, you can most certainly buy it, and they can most certainly sell it to you. It's not illegal for them to sell it to you. However, if somebody's smuggling in, future drones that do not have FCC authorization, well, there could be some issues arise. So the language was changed, and from my understanding, the reason why the language was changed in this drone bill was because DJI was starting to form shell companies. And what they were doing was essentially rebranding their drones and selling them under other names. So, from my understanding, the language was changed in this bill so that they could effectively say any drone coming from China is on the FCC covered list. Any drone. Now it's not specific to a couple of companies. So you might want to put that little feather of information in your cap. Now let me get to the meat and the taters of what I've got to say. I will agree that what is happening is partially predatory business practices. It's protectionism. We all know our country does a lot of it. Usually not quite to this extent, but, I mean, we'll blow people up to get what they have, so there isn't much that surprises me. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's screwed up. But I do not think that when you boil everything down to the root of what is truly going on, I think that they are trying to ban drones for civilian use. Not by the ban, because, my God, how could you possibly be a free country if you couldn't? I mean, you take people's hobbies away from them, you say, oh, you can't do that hobby. I mean, that's not a free country, right? But now if you make it impossible for them to get parts or completed units, it's only a matter of time till it fades away. They do not want us having drones. And I know there's a fair amount of people out there that for some weird reason have this whacked out fear of drones. They think people are trying to spy on them, and just because somebody's flying a drone. Let me tell you something. I've said this before, because it's really stupid. If you were trying to sneak up on somebody, all quiet like so you could watch them, would you go running up to them with a fucking weed eater? I don't think so. Because that would be stupid. Thinking somebody is trying to spy on you with a drone is just as damn stupid. Because it's like trying to sneak up on somebody with a weed eater. You know what I mean? Now, you gotta pay a pretty penny for a drone that has optical zoom. Okay? Optical zoom. Where you physically have two lenses. Those are pricey. My drones don't have optical zoom. Not even close. And really, that's the only way you're going to see distance clearly with a drone, by staying far enough away that they don't hear, I mean, people crack me up. They really do. They really do. I mean, I used to think it was bad when people used to just scratch the surface of everything. Now, there's quite a few that don't even do that. They don't even put 30 seconds of thought of not contradictory, but I can't think of the word, whatever the hell. But just put a little bit of thought into it, toss it around, try to figure out if there might be another angle. That's how I approach everything. When I approach something, I try to look at as many angles as what I can think to look at. Why? Because I want to know what's accurate, not what to make me feel good. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I think they're trying to ban drones, period. And, of course, like I said, I don't think, and they don't have cause at this point to come after the hobbyist drone flyers and saying, oh, well, you pose so much danger, because there hasn't been nearly enough incidents involving drones. I mean, not even remotely involving drones and manned aircraft that they could say, oh, this is an epidemic, it's got to stop now. So they got to approach it from a different way. They're just going to make sure that we can't get them anymore, that we can't get parts for them anymore. So, and there might be a little bit of a civilian drone market in the United States, but it's going to be neutered. You will never get the transmission distances and stuff like that you get with DJI. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Anyway, I just wanted to share my piece on what's up with the drone ban. It's ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous. When will we, the people, say enough? I don't know. I ain't holding my breath for it. I'll tell you that damn much. Hope you have a good one. Shalom.